Hello, I'm Grant, and welcome back to Phrasal Verb News, where we use real news stories to teach you phrasal verbs and idioms in context. I'll explain the news story and give a brief description of the new vocab, and at the end of the podcast, I'll provide a deeper explanation, examples, and ask you some questions so you can practice the new vocabulary right away. As you know, yesterday we covered the tragic death of a Colombian politician. So today we have a lighter and frankly heartwarming story. It's about cats and a city willing to spend 100,000 euros just to save about 20 cats' lives per year. It's about 5,000 euros per cat. Any city with canals has a problem. Sometimes stray cats fall into the canals and can't escape because the walls of the canals are too high and the cats eventually drown. Of course, cats can swim, but after a couple hours, their fur becomes very heavy due to the water, and over time, they all drown. A stray cat is another word for a cat that has no home and lives on the street. We also use stray to refer to dogs with no home. Several cities in the Netherlands have figured out a solution to this problem, and it's the cutest solution I've ever seen. To figure something out means to find a solution to a problem. They decided to build mini stairs along the walls of the canals so cats can easily crawl out if they happen to fall in. And when we say happen to fall in, it just means to fall in by chance or by accident. Now, this idea actually comes from another city in the Netherlands called Amersfoort, where it's already been tested with great success. Now, Amsterdam is rolling out the plan across its own canals. To roll out means to officially launch or start using something new, especially on a large scale. The city will work with an animal welfare group to figure out the best spots to install these tiny wooden staircases. The hope is that these steps will cut down on the number of cats drowning each year. Cut down on just means to reduce the amount of something. The whole project was proposed by a local politician from the Party for Animals, who said that a simple measure like this can prevent enormous suffering. Honestly, I think it's a great example of how even small design changes can make a big difference, not just for people, but for animals too. Now, let's get into the vocab. Remember, we'll have the meaning, a couple examples, and when I ask the question, try to pause or take a second to think of how you could actually answer this question. If you take the time and effort to try to answer, you're much more likely to remember and be able to use this word in the future. Number one, figure out. This means to find an answer or solution to a problem. For example, I finally figured out how to fix my computer. We need to figure out a way to cut production costs without losing quality. Here's a question. What's a problem you figured out recently? And how did you do it? Next up, we have happen to. Happen to do something means to do something by chance, not because you planned it. For example, I happened to see my old teacher at the supermarket. If you happen to be in town next week, let's meet for coffee. And the question, have you ever happened to meet someone important by chance? Number three, roll out. This means to launch or introduce something new, especially to the public or on a large scale. For example, the cafe is rolling out a new menu next month. The company will roll out its new software to all employees in September. And the question, has your company rolled out any new products or policies this year? And the last one, cut down on. This means to reduce the amount of something. For example, I'm trying to cut down on soda. I want to drink less soda. We cut down on travel expenses by holding more meetings online. And the question, what is something you've tried to cut down on recently? So there you have it, a cute story that shows how a small creative idea can have a big impact. And remember, these expressions aren't just for talking about cats and canals. They work in everyday conversations and in business too. I'm Grant with Business as Usual English. Thanks for listening, and come back tomorrow for more news and more English. Bye-bye.